Gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Game of Game, a sport talk show with Sirmayor, Lex, and YK. This is your favorite show. This is a show that we will give you everything that is happening in the world of sports. My name still remains the same. My name is Oguntonomaya, popularly known as Sirmayor. As you can see on the screen, I'm the dreaded man. Lex Posimi. Lex, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. I'm doing well. How you doing as well? What's up?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm very
on Saturday, I'm so sorry. On Saturday, Nigeria plays their third place match on Saturday, and we won on penalties. That is a good to me, we didn't do bad in this competition. You understand? We didn't do bad in this competition. And Lex, to me, I'm going to give Eric Chell, the Super Eagles coach, I'm going to give him a kudos because his first competition, as it were, for the Super Eagles, the media, everybody in Nigeria, even the fans, are giving him praise. Your take, Lex?
I think he's getting what he deserves, right? Eric Chell, when he first took over the job of the Super Eagles, the team was not doing the best. They were not doing their best. And one thing that I've noticed in this particular competition, is that Nigeria did not play a lackadaisical game all through. Something changed. One thing is, Nigeria has never lacked talent, right? But the one thing that has always been lacking in the Nigerian national team has always been the willingness to play for that team. The willingness, the readiness, the zeal, the zest to play for the national team, to play for that badge, that Nigerian badge. And that's one thing returned. That's one thing I think played out well in this competition. Kudos to Eric Chelsea, kudos to all the guys that played their part in making sure this happens. But there's no way to look at it. Third place was not the position we deserve. I think Nigeria in this competition, they played so well that they deserve to be in the final. Even if they don't get the cup, they deserve to be in the final. But as things will be, a lot of people will say, "Oh, Morocco played." Morocco were favored against Nigeria and all of that. Maybe not, but the fact remains that the guys did their best, the coach did his best, and we got what was available. Because come on, if this Nigerian team cannot beat that Egyptian team, so what's next? That Egyptian team is the worst in a lot of years, and this Nigerian team has been the best in quite a number of years. So why would Nigeria not be able to beat them? Nigeria should have finished them since the first half. But what happened, and it had to drag out until the penalties against Morocco, and they took their chances exactly how they should. So kudos to the coach, kudos to the players, kudos to everybody who supported the team. They did well. I cannot even take anything away from them. They did well. They did very well. And hopefully more of this shall we see from them.
Of course. Hopefully more of these shall we see from them. People, in fact, I've been seeing some comments about Eric Chell. People were giving him a lot of accolades. You understand? People were praising the coach. They were even saying that they've seen this is one of the Super Eagles team they've seen in a long while. Yeah. I mean, they've seen a good football. I mean, fantastic football. You can't blame the Super Eagles during the semi-finals match. You understand? They were playing against 13. Let me say 13 people. You understand?
Let's be clear. They were playing against like 25. Let me count them for you. They're playing against DR. They are playing against the ref. The ref is from Ghana, by the way, and we have like two other guys in the refereeing team. that were also from South Africa. Ghana is the arch rival to Nigeria. South Africa is also an arch rival to Nigeria. So the choice of those two in that competition is what I don't understand.
Exactly.
That's two. We were playing against the referee. We played against the home team. Morocco was playing on their own soil. They were the hosts. Morocco was the incumbent champion of Africa. We were playing against a host of things that were mitigating against Nigeria. Just take, for example, look at a lot of the 50-50 decisions that each and every one of them went Morocco's way. None went Nigeria's way.
Exactly.
Look at that Calvin, but that should never have been a yellow card, even in children's game.
Of course.
So how did that become a yellow card? So it's just that Nigeria played against a lot of factors, and the fact that they were even able to drag it out till the final minutes or the penalties means that Nigeria did all they could. It's just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be.
Exactly. But we really tried. You know, for us to even lost on penalties against the host team, we really performed very well. Well, you know, there are a lot of backlash against Samuel Chukwueze, but
of course.
But
the thing is, we all know that we Nigerians, we are very football frenzy.
Exactly.
Right? We are very football frenzy, and anything that means that a team we support or our country did not win, we need to blame it on somebody or someone or something. Yes. And anybody that walks in the way of being the scapegoat will definitely be the scapegoat. And that was what Chukwueze. Let's not deceive ourselves. Chukwueze did not play a bad penalty. He did not play a bad penalty. Honestly, he did not play a bad penalty. The only thing he had was an attitude before he played that penalty.
Before the penalty,
he had an attitude and he scored that penalty, nobody will be talking about it. They will say he was confident.
Of course.
Right? They will say he was confident. But come on, he lost it. It happens in football. It happens every time. Even the great John Terry missed a penalty again. Of course, it happens to even the greatest in the sport. Ronaldo has missed penalty on important stages. Messi has missed penalty on important stages. Even Zidane has missed penalty on important stages. So important players or great players in this competition or in this sport has missed penalty on important stages. But the fact remains that people complain about his attitude. Before he took the penalty.
Before the penalty,
because he did not score the penalty. I think that was to sabotage Nigeria. That's pure rubbish. That's nonsense. I mean, football is football. A lot of things happen in football, and it doesn't matter. Football is no respecter of race. Nobody cares where you are from. What we talk with on the pitch is our legs. That is the most important thing. So exactly. I don't expect people to start dabbling into race and culture and all of that. It doesn't make any sense.
Fantastic. It doesn't make any sense. That is Lex thought. That's a good thought from a very, very good sports analyst on this show, Lex Posimi. Yesterday, the final went down between Morocco and Senegal. I will be showing the viewers out there the highlights of the finals that went down. Please, just stick around. Don't go nowhere. Enjoy this.
Well rooted and well created by well rounded by the trainer.
A sea of red surrounds the pitch, but Senegal stand firm. Morocco with one last reminder from the crowd. They are here to win. We're underway in the final. Morocco in the white with red trim against Senegal in the green with yellow trim. It is the final. History is set to be made. Africa, hold your breath. Rabat roars because we've got two giants fighting for one trophy as Mendy gets the first touch out to the near side. Here's Antoine Mendy, who plays his first minutes of this tournament in the right back position as Crepin Diatta is feeling unwell ahead of this final.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. That was a big surprise, but it's good that Antoine Mendy started with a very good first touch.
Celebrates his 45th birthday in just a few days' time. The man from Senegal who won the African Nations Championship by beating a North African host nation when they upset Algeria a couple of years ago. Can he do so again, this time against Morocco in the Africa Cup of Nations final? A decent touch, a quality touch as Moussa Niakhaté brings it under control, and now Lamine Camara a little short perhaps in finding Mendy, but sweeps the ball out towards the man who's been solid alongside Koulibaly throughout this championship. So let's talk about young Mamadou Sarr as Diouf brings the ball under control but under pressure from Brahim Diaz. Mamadou Sarr, you'd be well familiar with his dad, Sunday.
Rega puta raya khai mefa ra gonna fa go bitlela thago yeo e ragiwa re mo motsotsong wa bole kgolo Mendy wa go tshwanela go ya kwa dikotenga gona le sekepe se se kileng sa nwela se ne se pegile mashole a ne go na le maAfrika Borwa sekepe sa Mendy a re bona senwela go le Mendy kwa dikoteng tsa Senegal. Ga gona boitumelo bofe a re ba tswe mo lebaleng ga ke itse gore a re ntota mokatisi tlhakatlhakano jaanong kgante lefale a re re tlotlomatsa tiragatso ya setlhopha ya CAF Ame El Hadji Diop go go totobadiwa gore a ke penalty kgotsa janga seo se a go roba dipelo tsa the Lions of Teranga. Re lebeletse mona wa ka Democratic Republic of Congo wa go buisana janga le Pierre Shelenacho wa ka Gabon, Letitia Antenela Viana wa Swaziland, Stephen Onyango Yembe wa ka kwa Kenya, Putso Kiodeo wena le kwa gae o lebeletse le wena o tlatsa tshwetso ya gore a ke penalty kgotsa jang go thata ene sa rate go fela jana mebele go tsogile tlhakatlhakano go tsogile tlhatlharuane penalty ba itlhomile kgwileo a re bone jalo mona wa ka kwa Santiago Penapau mona wa the Galacticos waya wa kitla Motwetso o felwa ke mafoko fa go nna jana Motwetso o felwa ke mafoko fa go nna jana Onaro le Kapanenka Fela Mendy ka maitemogela gage a ema gone fela foo.
In the central areas here for Senegal as they win it back impressively. Look to push on after that far flank. And numbers going forward. Yes, the shot comes in. Click, click, bang! Quiet with the second of the tournament, and what a way to start extra time. Wow, what drama in Rabat, Morocco. Perfect way in Senegal, who at one point looked aside that had thrown in the towel and walked off. Have to praise Sadio Mane for his role in the comeback and the return onto the field to face whatever may come their way. Well, the penalty saved by Mendy, minutes into extra time, and well, they win it back in a great area on the transition here. Power forward, space time, and it's inviting the shot after having to shrug off a defender. How's that for a banger, a true banger? That's a moment when Senegal needed something special off the underside of the bar, and it's Senegal that lead. Top draw stuff, tough corner. Gave it everything, absolutely everything he had.
Motuecho, Kikamoko, Pilarinao, a game of Pilens. Elenkahone, Ekahoka Kamata, Ekahutusa Botoko, Ekatisa Witumelo, Kemanyota Dumelanga, Horabatamiki Bobo Bonamba, Banibanga Lemon Baling, Cantele, Banibatile Botele Molebalinga, Kemanga Dumelanga, Horabatamiki Boba Riba Mekadifata Morocco, Kibonepa, Banimba Tagore, Bago Fenyasijanase, Moraga Barajaro penalty. Football, a game of villains. Bari, Kaisebutilo, Effecta 4. Pilarinao, Effecta Butilo. Coperile, Senegal, Kidisimeha, Refetafa, year 2025, 2026. Ochech, Remete Janon Sijana, Raboa.
All right, welcome back from that short highlights we just enjoyed on this program against Morocco, the host team, and Senegal. But before we moved on, I would like to give you the latest news that came out yesterday, Sunday, in the world of tennis. Emma Raducanu, the British number one, make winning start at Australian Open against world number 195, Mananchaya Sawang, you know. Please just pardon me, you know, the name.
It's okay. Hopefully they will forgive you.
Please just pardon me. As you all know, Emma Raducanu, she's a good tennis player. Emma Raducanu, one of the greatest tennis player in the world of tennis. Let me quickly go through the news. At the moment, let me quickly go through the news for you. Emma Raducanu sealed a fine first round win at the Australian Open by defeating Thailand world number 195. Pardon me, I can't pronounce the name. On opening on opening Sunday, you understand. Raducanu, who won only arrival in Melbourne on Friday after reaching the quarterfinals in the Albert International, was forced to scramble to get ready for the first tournament. So this is the news we can bring to you in the world of tennis. Now let's dive down into European football. Some matches went down during the weekend, you understand, on Saturday and on Sunday. Respectfully, I know you are, you know, you want to talk about the derby match that went down, the Manchester derby that went down on Saturday against against Manchester United and Manchester City. You know, Lex, before I read out the results of the last weekend matches that went down, I watched Manchester United under the interim manager Michael Carrick. Manchester United is no. Manchester United is not Carrick. See, I wish our Manchester United correspondent, I mean, Odeyemiola YK, I wish. And by the way, YK might join us before the end of this show. By the way, we hope he joins us before the end of the show. You understand? But I wish well, anytime he joins us, I'm going to hear his thoughts. You understand? But Lex, the way Manchester United played against Manchester City is superb. At a point, Manchester United were playing like Pep Guardiola Barcelona team. Time of Xavi. You understand? What's your take about that, Lex?
I mean, I would have said, this is a situation of a blind cat chasing a dead mouse. But Manchester City is not a dead mouse. Maybe Manchester United was a blind cat, but Manchester City was not a dead mouse. So that scenario will not play out well. So I'm thinking, has it always been a coach problem? Has it always been a coach problem, or it is just that the players do not want to play for that coach? Because I'm sure if it was Amorim would still have lost this game.
Of course, yes. He still would have. I agree with you.
He still would have lost this game. But look at them. Manchester United scored 4. They scored 5 goals.
Five goals. Three were cancelled.
They hit the crossbar once.
Yes.
That's almost 6 goals. If everything has been counted or everything went in, that would have been 6 goals. 6 goals. Yes. Against this Manchester City team.
Yeah.
Come on, that's commendable. That's very commendable. But at the same time, how sustainable will this be? Is this going to be a long-term run? Is this going to be a short? Because Manchester United now is on the lookout for a long-term coach. Is Michael Carrick going to convince them to give him a long-term deal? Is he going to be able to work and convince them to give him a long-term deal? That is what we'll be hoping to see. But kudos to them. Kudos to Manchester United. They did well. They played well. Brian Buemo and Ugarte. They scored the 2 goals against Manchester City. And to the stun or to the amazement of Manchester City, Manchester United had the day. So, should every other team in the Premier League be scared? Should they be worried? Should they be wary of Manchester United? Or is this just a glitch in the matrix? Is this just a glitch in the matrix, and very soon we'll start seeing the Manchester United that belongs to number 12 on the table? But regardless, we cannot postulate about the future without commenting the present. Right now, they've done well. They did well against Manchester City, and congratulations to them. Kudos to them. Hopefully this continues, but hopefully it doesn't, because I'm a Liverpool fan and they are just 2 points behind me. They're just 2 points behind me on the on the log. So I don't want them to do well, but